What's up, you guys? Now, today we will just look at speaking part 3. Okay, so speaking part 3, we will look at some pronunciation. And keep on forgetting how to pronounce words, and also we have to look at fluency and coherence. Fluency and coherence. So transitional words and phrases. We have transitional words and phrases, and then we have comparison, condition, concession, and then coordination, conjunctions. We have okay. We have transitional words and phrases, and then we have conjunctions. So conjunctions. Links and also transitional phrases links to sentences. It feels like I'm out of breath. Whenever I speak, it feels like I am out of breath. Okay, my practice has started. Now we will look at speaking part. In the afternoon, we will look at writing task 1. My voice is I forgot my WhatsApp also. I'll be back. It's so tiresome teaching students, The first thing I need to eradicate is hesitation. I shouldn't have to completely eradicate hesitation because no one can do that. However, I have to try to reduce most of my hesitation. Now we will look at speaking part 3. Where is my book? Book, book. Don't give up, na na na. No, you give up, na na na. Don't you give up? I'm going mad, and that's for sure. Okay. In order to improve your fluency, one thing you can do is ask this 5 wives and then 1 husband. What is mean by 5 wives and 1 husband? You may ask. The answer is 5 wives means what, when, who, where, and then which. So these words start with the letter of W. They all starts with the letter of W. So that's why they have been called as 5 wives. And then 1 husband. So how is a word which starts with the letter of H? So it has been called as 1 husband. So these all are WH questions. So that is said to be 5 wives and 1 husband. 1 husband can expand your answer by thinking about them. Can expand your answer. That's how you can improve your fluency. I'm really struggling to speak right now because I am out of breath. You have to consider. Okay, now we look at part 3 of speaking. Let me tell you why you wanna know. Anytime, anywhere. Mm, we've started the part 3. So what sorts of question will I get in speaking part 3? Speaking part 3 will be asked some abstract or analytical questions. Will be asked some abstract or analytical questions. There's a pencil. I keep on losing things. I don't know why. Losing things. Okay, fine. Speaking part 3 will be asked some abstract or analytical question. There will be broadly linked to topic introduced in part 2. So what is meant by broadly? So generally, okay. So generally linked with the speaking part 2, not entirely. The examiner will be expecting you to provide more discursive answers. You cannot get a high mark if you only provide short answers. You need to have plenty of ideas on topics. You need to make these clear to the examiner. So I have to give discursive answers, and I should provide long answers. Otherwise, I won't get high marks for that. I mean, if I provide short answers, obviously I'm not going to get high marks. And then I need to have plenty of ideas on the topics. Whatever the area I'm talking about, I want to make those ideas very clear to the examiner. Understanding part 3, questions. After you are given your talk, the examiner will tell you he or she is going to ask some questions related to the part 2 topic. In the unit 3, you practice way of preparing number of different topics. Okay. These questions have been linked to part 2, which we don't want to see now. We'll just look at part 3 now. Such a school what I am. Letting me wasting money when in their pants. Okay. Neat question. Okay. Underline the keywords in this question which provide links to A to E. Rephrase the question in your own words to make sure you understand them. My husband, he doesn't want to stay in India. He wants to move to Canada, but I can't afford his dreams. I can't afford to getting a plane ticket, or else repeated IELTS exams. I mean, that sucks. How many times do you have to write? Not to get past. I need skills. I need to develop my skill to pass this IELTS exam. Let's just see what happens. Where is my fucking pencil? Okay, I'm angry. Now what I'm gonna do? Yeah, I found it. I'm so sorry. Pencil, I called you. I'm just going mad. Anyhow, what we are going to do is we're going to read the questions 1 to 6 and match them to part 2, topics A to E in unit 3 on pages 164 to 148. Underline the keywords in this question which provide the links to the topics. So 146 to 148. Describe the city you would like to visit in the future. Okay, what are some of the advantages of living in a city? Okay, describe a job you would like to do in the future. How important is it to enjoy your work? Okay, you would like to do, enjoy, and then some of the advantages. Describe a tourist trip that you have been on which you particularly enjoyed. Mainly positive or a negative thing to your country. Tourism, work, job, large city, describe a city. A place where you can describe a place you have lived that you particularly liked. Most successful. 5. Sorry. CABEG. Say. Workers paid holidays. CNC. Paid holiday. Okay. Workers country are usually entitled to 4 weeks paid holiday. What are the benefits of ensuring that high people have paid holidays? Personal achievement. Who is the most successful? Personal achievement, and then cheap housing. Have lived. Describe the place that you have lived beautifully, right? Large city, living. Okay, we have done the first and second exercise. Now we are going to move on to the third exercise. Rephrase the question in your own words to make sure you understand them. So if someone is asking, how important is it to enjoy your work? Is it important to enjoy my work? Is my work enjoyable? Okay, the second question is, having somewhere to live is a basic right. So should the state provide cheap housing for people who didn't earn a lot of money? Who didn't, for poor people, should state provide cheap housing or not? So the second question is asking like they should or they should not. You have to answer yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. You have to connect your ideas. Yes, they should. The number one reason is to reduce the housing cost. Although many landlords live based on their rent, providing cheap housing will help many impoverished people. You have to connect your ideas very much. You have to connect your ideas. So coherently it will be, and then it has to make sense. You have to connect your ideas. You have to use pronunciation. So I mean, in order to get good score, you have to do these two things. You have to practice and produce results with these two things, and then the exam comes. You can showcase what level you are in. You are in at your. You are in your English. You are in your English. What level you are in your English. You can showcase what level you are in your English. So in what ways do we measure personal achievement in our society? So there are a number of ways. If you are talking about money, rich people have been called as successful people. However, if you're talking about on the other side, secondly, people with people who are famous, many famous people were not rich, especially internet stars. even though they don't have enough bank balance. Even though they don't have enough bank balance. What are some of the advantages? There are a number of advantages living in a city. First one is commute. Although many people have their own transport, many workers prefer it is easy to get a bus or a train living in a city than in a village. The second reason, the second advantage is job opportunities. You can argue that they are in villages. However, jobs are I believe in cities there is always job opportunities present. Does tourism bring mainly positive or negative things to your country? I think positive things. Although tourists may litter the ground or trash the place, they bring in the money. They bring in the higher value of money. Just say dollars, especially tourists. Americans bring dollars. Although litter the ground, um, second positive thing about tourism is it improves job opportunities for the locals. What are the benefits of ensuring that people have paid holidays? Yeah, for workers, there are several benefits. Are there? The first one is peace of mind. Listen to the 6 students give an answer to the 6th question on the previous page. As you listen, complete the answer given.
Track 38. 1. It's very important to enjoy your job. For one thing, we do it for many years. And another reason is that if we like what we're doing, we'll probably be more motivated. 2. I believe the government ought to help people, low-income people, with their rent, but Track 38. 1. It's very important to enjoy your job. For one thing,
it's very important. It's very important to enjoy your job. It's very important to enjoy your job. For one thing,
and we do it for many years. And another reason is that if we like what we're doing, another reason is that if we like what we're doing, we'll probably be more motivated.
We'd probably be more motivated.
What we're doing will probably
we'd probably be more motivated. It's very important to enjoy your job. For one thing, we do it for many years. Another reason is that if we like what we're doing, we'd probably be more motivated. It's very important to enjoy your job. For one thing, we do it for many years. And another reason is that if we like what we're doing, we would probably be more motivated. Another reason is that if we like what we're doing, we'd probably be more motivated. Well, the linker is it's very important to like your job, to enjoy your job. For one thing, we do it for many years. We do it for many years. We do it for many years. For one thing, it's not actually a linker, and also there is another linker here, which is it. For one thing, we do it for many years. Another reason is that if we like what we are doing, we probably be more motivated.
Be more motivated. 2. I believe the government ought to.
We would probably.
I believe the government ought to help people. Low-income people with their rent. But I don't really think they should actually provide cheap housing. People with their rent, but I don't really think they should actually provide cheap housing. Because if you do it for some people, then it isn't fair to those who don't get it. I mean, where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the door? Whoa, fuckers. Sorry. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line?
I really think they should actually, but low income.
I'm sorry for using the bad word.
Ought to help people. Low income. The government ought to help people. Low-income people with their rent, but I don't really think they should actually provide cheap housing Because if you do it for some people, then it isn't fair to those who don't get it. I mean, where do you draw the line?
Okay, we will look at the link list now. I believe government how to help people, low-income people. Who? Low-income people with what? With their rent. But I don't really think, they they should actually provide cheap housing, because if you do it, if you actually provide cheap housing, if you do it, some people, if you do it for some people,
then it isn't fair to those who, for some people, then it isn't fair to do it for some people, then it isn't fair to those who don't get it.
then it isn't fair. It isn't fair to those who don't get it. Actually provide cheap housing, because if you do it for some people, then it isn't fair to those who don't get it. I mean, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? I believe the government should help people, low income people, with their rents, but I don't think they should help um, the low income people with cheap housing. The reason why is, if you help these poor people, what about the rich people? Where do you draw the line? Because if you do it for some people, then it isn't fair for everyone who don't get it. I mean, where do you draw the line?
I mean, where do you draw the line?
3. Well, we often measure achievement by things like what type of job people do or how much they earn. Or in other areas like sport, for example, we give awards and prizes. Or people do or how much they earn. 3. Well, we often measure achievement by things like what type of job people do or how much they
earn. How much they
earn. Or in other areas like sport, for example, we give awards and prizes. 4.
Well, we often measure achievement by things like what type of job people have, or how much they earn. Or in other areas like sports, for example, in other areas, job, we give awards, prizes. What ways do we measure personal achievement in our society? I mean, we often measure achievement by things like what type of jobs people have, or how much they earn. Or in other areas like sports, for example, we give awards and prizes.
Big cities offer lots of opportunities, such as work, shopping, cultural activities, but you have to balance this against the higher cost of living and the fact that big cities can be quite lonely places. Such as big cities offer lots of opportunities, such as work, shopping, cultural activities, but you have to balance this against the higher cost of living. This against the higher cost of living and the fact that big cities can be quite lonely places.
Big cities offer a lot of opportunities, such as work, so she's saying such as work, shopping, and cultural activities. But you have to balance this against the higher cost of living and the fact that, and you have to balance the fact that big cities can be quiet, lonely places. Although the cost of living is higher in big cities, it offers many opportunities such as work and cultural activities. Big cities can be quietly lonely places.
Five. On the
But and the fact that, for example, and then for one thing, another reason is that for one thing, another reason is that how, but because they
whole, it brings benefits because it brings foreign money. I mean, foreign exchange. On the whole, it brings.
On the whole, see, this is the thing I have to use.
It's benefit. It's because it brings foreign money. I mean, foreign exchange, which is good for the economy. Brings benefits because it brings foreign money.
Brings foreign money.
I mean, foreign exchange, which is good for the economy. But on the other hand, it may disadvantage local people, especially if they don't work in the tourism industry themselves. Advantage local people, especially if they don't work in the tourism industry themselves. 6.
Okay, on the whole, it brings benefits. Benefits like foreign money because it.
5. On the whole, it brings benefits because it brings foreign money. I mean, foreign exchange, which is good for the economy. But on the other hand, it may disadvantage local people, especially if they don't work in the tourism industry themselves.
On the whole, it brings benefits because it brings foreign money. I mean, foreign exchange, which is good for the economy. But on the other hand, it may disadvantage local people. Those are not, especially those who are not working on the tourism industry themselves. Especially if they don't work in tourism industry themselves. They don't work in tourism.
Work in the tourism industry themselves. 6.
Final one.
I think it's really important for people to get paid holidays because they need a break and
paid holidays.
Shouldn't have to fund it. Important for people to get paid holidays because they need a break and shouldn't have to fund their own time off.
Shouldn't have to fund their time off.
To get paid holidays because they need a break and shouldn't have to fund their own time off.
Have to fund their own time off.
Also, if you want people to work hard in a job, they need to have some rewards. To get paid holidays because they need a break and shouldn't have to fund their own time off. Also, if you want people to work hard in a job, they need to have some rewards.
I think it's really important for people to get paid holidays because they need a break and shouldn't have to fund their own time off. Also, if you want to be able to work hard in a job, you need to have some reward. Okay, I finished it. Finish the exercise. What exercise? This exercise. For one thing, another reason is that should be current. The first thing I should do is I should answer the question. Whatever the questions they are asking, you need to answer them. Otherwise, it's waste of sitting there. Then it isn't, because if you fund some people, then it isn't fair. Things like by things like such as, but on the whole, but on the other hand, the economy, but on the other hand, because on their own time off. Making your ideas clear. You need to introduce your ideas and link them together. They will signal each of you. So your opinions will give you the full answer. You need to introduce your ideas and link them together. This will signal each of your ideas clearly to a listener and make your answer flow well. Okay. What I need to do is I need to introduce my idea. My ideas should be linked together. First thing I need to do in the IELTS speaking is IELTS speaking part 3. First thing is I need to give answers to the question. In order to give relevant answers to the question, not to give relevant answers to the question, I need to understand the question first. Second thing you need to do is linking words. Okay, imagine your examiner has asked you this question about the weather. Take a one and think of an appropriate answer. Signpost. I need to signpost my answer. question. Let me make sure you To what extent do you think the climate of country affects the kinds of houses or homes that are built? I believe the climate of country. Lot to do in a way, the way that we design our houses. For instance, in countries where it is look at the example of the words which introduce an opinion might be reflected little into the evidence for that opinion. So for instance, in countries where my views, in countries where good and living around climates, I think also built to keep the sun out. Take turn to answer the questions in exercise 7.
Track 29.
I think there are lots of good reasons for keeping animals in a zoo. One is that you can see animals from other parts of the world that you'd never see in the wild. And they're great for children too.
I think there are a lot of good reasons for keeping animals in food. One is that you can see animals from other part of the world that you had never seen in the wild. I think they are great for children too. We may end up sleeping in the street or in the park. This will only affect badly on our society as a whole. I think it's really responsibility of the cheap housing. Regarding this topic, have to have previous knowledge regarding this topic. Have to have previous knowledge regarding this topic. Getting into the evidence for the although like if you go out and there's a chance of getting a cold, I mean, I'm a teacher. From a teacher's perspective, could parents is about the story they are paying kids and they're in school to take care of the kids. This is how children should not use teachers have to do their job, especially they're compassionate towards receptive students, and schools do not, should not bother these kids. Yeah, I'm going to end this class. Now speaking, I think maybe I'm going to give my opinions today. I'm going to practice my opinions in my class, and then I'm going to link my ideas plus pronunciation. I'm going to practice two things. First one is I'm going to practice contractions, and the second one is chunking. Thank you. Bye.